أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا صلى الله عليه وآله عبده ورسوله. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum to you, dear viewers. Very welcome to another episode of the program Friends of God in His Presence, a commentary on Ziyarat al-Jami'a al-Kabira based on a book written in Farsi language by Ayatollah Javadi Amoli, Adab-e Fana-e Muqarraban. Before getting to the main discussion for today's program, I invite you to watch a short clip or a short video clip on the speeches of Ayatollah Javadi Amoli along with the English translation, and then we'll be back in a minute.
قادة الأمم. قاده یعنی رهبران، قائد یعنی رهبر، قیادت یعنی رهبری. فرمود تمام امتها را شما رهبری میکنید. شیعه ها را به یک سبک، مسلمان ها را به یک سبک، مسلمان ها و اهل سنت که غیر شیعن اونا را به یک سبک، موحدان عالم را به یک سبک، ملحدان عالم را به یک سبک. شما مجرای فیضی، شما رهبری امتها را به عهده دارید. نه تنها رهبری مسائل اجتماعی، اگر کسی خواست عمل او مقبول بشود، عمل او بالا برود، آیا راهنما میطلبد یا نه؟ ما اگر خواستیم ترقی کنیم راهنما میخواهیم یا نه؟ نماز ما اگر خواست صعود کند بالا برود راهنما میطلبد یا نه؟ عبادت های ما اگر خواست بالا برود راهنما میخواهد یا نه؟ عبادت های اهل بیت، نماز اونها، روزه اونها، زکات اونها، خمس اونها، حج اونها امام اعمال ماست. این که گفتن اگر کسی اول وقت نماز خوند پشت سر امام زمان خود نماز خوند، برای اینکه امامش اول وقت نماز میخواند در هر جا باشد و انسانی که اول وقت نماز میخواند در حقیقت به امام خود اقتدا کرده است. نماز ولی عصر که به طرف خدا صعود میکند و تقرب مییابد باعث میشود که امامت نمازهای دیگر را به عهده دارد. یعنی نمازهای ما به نماز اون حضرت اقتدا میکنن، عبادات ما به عبادتهای اون حضرت اقتدا میکنن. صلات او امام نماز هاست، زکات او امام زکات هاست، حج او امام حج هاست، فکرت او، سنت و سیرت او امام سنت ها و سیرت هاست. این میشود قاده امم، یعنی تمام امتها را در تمام شرایط اینا دارن رهبری میکنن.
Welcome back, dear viewers. You are watching Friends of God in His Presence. I'm Mata, the host of this program. Within the studio for today's discussion, we have a very respected guest speaker from the Islamic House of Qom, Sheikh Dr. Jahangiri. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh, and welcome to the show.
Assalamu alaikum, dear brother. I have to thank God for the opportunity having some series of the talk with you, brother. And Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. Thank you for watching us explaining the Ziyarah of the jamia Kabira by Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam. Again, thank you.
Okay, as you rightly pointed out, Ziyarat al-Jami'a al-Kabira was issued, we can say, by Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam, in which the main attributes or the features and the characteristics of the infallible Imams and the concept of Imama are enumerated by the infallible Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam. Ayatollah Javadi Amoli writes a very, we can say, fruitful, well-researched, well-written shar or commentary on this Ziyarah in Farsi language, Adab-e Fana-e Muqarraban, and this series of the English programs are based on that book. Okay, when we are reading out the text of the Ziyarat al-Jami'a al-Kabira, we reach to a sentence, or let's say a phrase, which calls the A'imma and the infallible Imams as وَقَادَةَ الْأُمَمِ. وَقَادَةَ الْأُمَمِ. I'll be happy, first of all, explain for us the meaning of قَادَةَ الْأُمَمِ. What does it mean exactly? And do we have any for example, English equivalent for that? What does it mean exactly?
Ayatollah Javadi Amoli, first he discussed literally about the meaning of the Qadat al-Umam.
Yes.
He says that Ahlul Bayt are called Qadat al-Umam. Let's discuss about the first part of this phrase, Qada.
Yes.
Yes. Qada, in Arabic we call the leader of the society al-Qa'id. Al-Qa'id in Arabic means a person who is leading the society, but in a way that he is in front. He is in front, he is walking before the community, and he is leading society, pulling them to follow him.
Yes.
He is not in the back saying that, go forward, go to the front, fight with the enemy, I'm in behind, watching you, how you are fighting. He says that there is two words in Arabic, as-siyaqa and al-qiyada. He says that in as-siyaqa, when you are riding actually a horse,
Yes.
you are actually pushing it from the behind. If you are pushing the community, you are sitting behind to actually save yourself.
Okay.
You know that many leaders of the communities, many empires in the history,
Yes.
they were pushing the community to go to the battlefield, sitting out and saying that go there, fight the enemy, and in some cases they were escaping from the battlefield.
Just they were symbolically on the back stage and not the front stage.
Very true.
That's right. Okay.
He says that this is the meaning of the siyaqa. Never Ahlul Bayt lead the society in this way.
Yes.
He was in the front of the battlefield.
Okay.
He was the pioneer of the community.
Yes.
And they were pulling the community, follow us. It means that the leader of the society, he should be in the front of the community. He should first put his foot on the field,
Yes.
then the people should follow him. Actually, Brother Atta, it is not explaining the meaning of the concept,
Yes.
but also it teaches the how leader should be.
Yes.
It is a kind of teaching leadership
yes.
in the community. Ahlul Bayt teaches that. Leadership in our atmosphere, in our realm of the teaching to the community, the leader should be in the front.
That's right.
If he is talking on justice, he should be the first person.
That's right.
If he is fighting the enemy, he should be the first. Look to the Karbala, how this was manifested in the Karbala.
Yes.
Hashemite, they were saying that we have to be the first in battlefield. Regarding to the justice, they were the first person who observed this. Imam Ali alayhi salam,
Yes.
in his short time of governing the society, you see how he was cautious of being adil and just.
I think this is the main difference between an imam and a caliph, because in the Islamic terminology, we can say, especially when the Orientalists and the Westerners are talking about our infallible imams, they believe in them as their caliph. But the true meaning is that the caliph or a king or an emperor was the person who was living in his temple, and as you said, his forces were active in the field. His
Very
deputies and representatives were active in it. But Imam was not in such a position.
He was in battlefield.
Imam was in the battlefield, Imam was in the mosque, Imam was among the people in the market, Imam was leaving the community and the ummah. And this is important.
That's why they were facing the problem of the community before the community.
Yes.
They were tasting the problem of the society
Okay.
before the people of the society tasted.
Yes.
That's why in this case, وَكَلَامُكُمْ حَزْمِ, we have in Ziyarah, jamia, kebira. They were knowing the problem of the community before them.
Yes.
How? Because they were attached to the community.
That's right.
They were qa'id.
Yes.
They were qiyada of the society. Not only this siyaqa, as Ayatollah Javadi Amoli explains this. In every case, you see how they were in the front,
That's right.
front of the community.
That's right. So this is the meaning of qada. We'll take a break, and after that we get to the second part of this phrase, that is because it is the ummah, and the plural form will be ummah. What does it mean exactly?
And if we explain these two terms, how the discussion would be fruitful.
Thank you very much, Sheikh. Up until now, it was very kind of you, and thank you very much, dear viewers, for watching Friends of God in His Presence. We'll take a break. I'm back in a minute.
وموضع الرسالة ومختلف الملائكة ومهبة الوحي ومعدن الرحمة وخزان العلم ومنتهى الهدى.
Welcome back, dear viewers. You are watching Friends of God in His Presence, a commentary on Ziyarat al-Jami'a al-Kabira based on the book written by Ayatollah Javadi Amoli in Farsi or Persian language, Adab-e Fana-e Muqarraban. Okay, Sheikh Jahangiri, welcome back again to the program. It's very kind to have you over here. So the A'immas are referred to as Qadat al-Umam. And Qad, as you said, is the plural form of Qa'id, a person who is a leader, an Imam. And this, I think the position of Imam and Imamat is very much different from the political stance of a caliph or a king or something like that. But when we say that the A'immas were Qadat al-Umam, we are talking about the concept of Ummah. And Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was really concerned about the concept of the Ummah and the Muslim community. What do you mean exactly when we say that these are the leaders or the Imams of all the Ummahs?
Brother, before explaining the meaning of the Ummah, I would like to highlight a point that when we say the difference between Imamah and Khilafah, actually Khilafah, based on the definition of the actually Ahlul Sunnah or the Orientalists, they understood the meaning of the, explained the meaning of the Khilafah. But based on the Quranic explanation, the true Khalifa is the Imam, and true Imam is the successor of the Allah, the Almighty. Let's come to the meaning of the Ummah. You know the difference between Ummah, nation, and the nationalities. Actually, we suffered actually this term in Persian or other languages. They are the leader of the Ummahs, the nations. By nation means that if they are the leader of the whole universe, they never neglect the diverse culture of the societies. Each type of ummah has his own culture, his own value, but in a way that the color of the imamah is coloring all societies.
That's right.
You know, some empires, when they actually occupy a land, invade a country, first of all, they destroy their culture. They say that you have to be a unique ummah. Just we have one ummah. But in imamah teaching, diversity is important. They would be ummah. There would be ummams. Many ummah would be there. That is very important teaching.
That's right.
At the arrival of Imam Zaman alayhi salam, he never destroys the diversity of the cultures. He respects all of them. But there would be unity among them. None of the actually nation is occupying the others. None of the nation is invading the other. There is respect among them.
Even at the time of Prophet Muhammad, I think the followers of the Christians and we can say Judaism were respected, isn't it? They were not forced. They were only given just the chance of giving jizya or the Islamic tax. So they were living freely. And so even the polytheists of Mecca, when Prophet Muhammad went for the triumph in the Mecca, in Fath al-Mecca, you know...
never called them captive. Called them, you are free.
Free, that's right.
Antum at-tulaqa. You're free. Never called them... You see how Ahlul Bayt teaching is for their leadership, their qiyada is different than the other cultures. So, let's come to the concept of the Umams.
Yes.
The one teaching we derive from this is that there would be Umams at the time of the Imam leadership. They won't destroy the other Ummas in a way that to have one Ummah, never.
Okay.
They respect all Ummas. Second important point is that they never actually lead the society based on physical borders, based on the nationalities, yes, or based on the ethnical borders, based on the, let's say, religious borders.
Okay.
All they do is based on the values of the Allah the Almighty.
That's right.
So they are the leader of the Ummah. You know, Ummah, there is difference between Ummah and the other terms, yes, opposite of the Ummah. When you use Ummah, the nation, here the core of the concept of the Ummah is the values.
Yes.
Based on the values, each Ummah, it differs from the other.
Okay.
But in nationality, your geographical borders is differing you from the others.
Okay.
In ethnical, actually, the differentiation between one sect from the, yes, other, one ethnic group from the other, yes, it is ethnical values differing you from the others. But in the leadership of the Ahlul Bayt, the only thing, yes, can differ you from the other Ummah is the values.
And this, okay, and this is why I think Prophet Muhammad has said in a prophetic hadith that after me, I leave two things among you, the Holy Quran was Saqalain, you know, isn't it?
The both.
The both.
And Imama is leading society based on the values of the Quran. And values of Quran would be materialized and practiced in the society if your leader is the Imam.
Yes, and this quality of being an Imam is really different from the political leaders that we see nowadays all around the world or have seen during the history.
Brother Asa, okay, I would like to, you referred very wise hadith of the Prophet, and Prophet said that they never be separated.
Yes, yes.
You see, they never been separated till to join to each other in the house of the, yes, Jannah. You see, Prophet said that the values of Quran, if there is no leader of society like Imam, won't be practiced.
That's
just
right.
These values are kept in museum of the Quran. And if there is a Imam, he's not if there is a leader, he's not observing the values of the Quran.
That's right.
He won't be the Imam of the Ummah.
Okay.
He is just a political leader.
That's right.
So any leader, he should observe the values of the Quran, and values of the Quran should be practiced by the Imam. How they are joined together.
And how the governorship was beautifully shared by Imam Ali alayhi salam between his governors. I mean, the criteria and the standards for choosing a ruler or a governor at different parts of the Islamic land and the Islamic Ummah was absolutely different from the previous kings or the previous caliphs.
Even today.
Yes.
Even if we compare, yes, how he appointed the governors, what he, yes, suggested to the governors, yes, still today is very admirable.
The letter that he wrote to Malik al-Ashtar when he was sent to Egypt as the governor is really a charter of human rights, I believe. And this is how we believe that the A'immas were the true leaders of the Muslim Ummah. Thank you much, Shaykh. It was very kind of you. Let's take a break, and after we'll continue our discussion. Dear viewers, you are watching Friends of God in His Presence. I'm Ata, the host of this program. Let's take a break. I'm back in a minute.
ومختلف الملائكة فمهبت الوحي ومعدن الرحمن وخزان العلم ومنتهى الهدى.
Welcome back, dear viewers. You are watching Friends of God in His Presence. I'm Ata, the host of this program. With me in the studio to continue our discussion, we have Dr. Sheikh Jahangiri from the Islamic House of Qom. Assalamu alaikum again to you.
Wa alaikum assalam.
So, Qadat al-Umam, a leader, an imam who is going to rule over the Muslim Umam and the community, all nations, the leader of all nations. Some people might say that the A'immas and the infallible Imams were the best worshippers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most pious people and the righteous ones. But did they really have the power politically, socially and culturally speaking to rule over the Muslim Ummah? Or no, it needed something else? What's your answer to that?
Let's put the Risala and the mission of the Ahlul Bayt and infallibles, actually, including the Prophet Muhammad, in 3 levels. The first was that receiving the teaching, divine teaching from the God.
Okay.
And in the rest of the Ziyarah, Jamia, Kabira, we have, you received it in a very honest and fair way.
That's right.
So, it needs ability to receive it. You have to be honest. You have to be very cautious of the teachings of the God has revealed to your heart. They received it in a very nice and wise way.
That's right.
Second was that preaching it, sharing it, distributing it among the communities. They did so. They were not some people, we get this divine teaching, that suffices us. Still sit in your home, that is enough for you to be a good man.
Okay.
Never.
No.
Imam al-Rida alayhi salam, he left the Medina of his father and moved to the Marv alone. He left his family behind. But he came here just to distribute the teachings.
He even accepted the vice presidency, or we can say deputyship of
just to preach it.
Yes,
preach the teachings.
Okay.
Imam Ali alayhi salam came to Kufa. Imam and others, Imam, they went to Samarra and other cities, to Yemen and other places, just to preach these teachings. One of their missions, second mission of them, was preaching it, because they knew that there is lightning within these teachings, and it is the right of each human being to get his share of these lights.
That's right.
The third was that, and you know that they were possible, as much as they were possible, they did so. Maybe in some cases they were not possible.
Okay.
That is out of their responsibility. The third is that they tried, after distributing it, they tried to materialize it in society.
Okay.
When you say Salah, Ayatollah Javadi Amoli explains in a very wise way. He says that they received the teaching of the Salah, praying.
Yes.
Then they distributed to the Ummah how to pray, where to pray, and something like that. The third is that Quran says that Aqimu as-salat.
Yes.
Quran never says that pray.
Pray, no.
Quran
Establish
prayer.
And establish zakah.
You have to make the praying standing in your society, in your community.
Yes.
So Aqimu as-salat. So they tried to make the salah established in the society. How you can do that without being governor of the society?
Okay.
That's why they are Qadatul Umam. They have to be the leader of the society.
Yes.
First of that, in 3 levels, you see how wisely receiving it in a divine teaching, distributing it, and materializing. They were receiving the meaning of the justice.
Yes.
They distributed. Is it enough? No. You're talking on justice. No one is practicing it.
Yes.
You yourself, you are the leader. We discussed that they were the pioneer in front of the community. They have to materialize it in their life and in their society.
That's right.
That's why actually governing the society, it was very mission of the Ahlul Bayt.
The outstanding Christian professor and a scholar, Professor George Jordan, has written a very beautiful book on Imam Ali alayhi salam, Imam Ali as-Sawt al-Adalat al-Insaniyya, Imam Ali alayhi salam, the voice of human justice. And in that book, he is referring to the very very qualities of a just leader can be found only in Imam Ali alayhi salam and his descendants.
And he mentions that Imam Ali in his book, he mentions that not only Imam Ali was talking about the justice, but also he practiced the justice in society. How we can, brother Atta, practice the justice in society without being governor of the society?
Yes, and without having our governorship rooted in the divine justice.
Very true.
Allah, you know?
That's why in the first phase they received it. And they, by their heart and by their soul and spirit,
Yes.
they got it, they taught it to the humanity, then practiced it. But we have to mention that as much as they had the ability and the atmosphere of the society, let them to do so.
Yes.
For example, in the very short time of the government of the Imam Ali alayhi
About
salam,
5 years.
about 5 years,
Yes.
you see that is very admirable.
Yes.
Many Sunnis and Shias, like Christians, you mentioned the George Ortag, many others, they admire it, how it was the golden age of the human being. On that time, still, for example, he calls the enemy, they beheaded Imam Ali alayhi salam. The enemies, they had plot in their mind to terror Imam Ali alayhi salam.
Yes.
Imam Ali never called them enemy. Imam says that they are my brothers, but plots in their mind. إخواننا بغوا علينا.
Yes.
You see? So, let's come to the discussion. Imams, they were not only the spiritual leader of the society, a mystic leader of the society, they were leader of the society, they were Qadatul Umam. As much as they tried to establish the golden government based on the divine teaching. So, governing the society is the core of the teaching of the Ziyarah, jamia, Kabira.
Right.
Ayatollah Javadi Amoli, in rest of his book, we don't have maybe time to discuss about, maybe inshallah in the future, he says that they were Sasatul Ibad as well.
Yes.
They were the very political person of their community, but Sasatul Ibad, the servant of God,
The servants
not
of
a
God.
political person. As you see in the parties, they are fighting each other just to gain the power. They were not so.
They were the maintainers, in fact, of the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's it. And as I said in the some of the previous episodes of this program, I think that the most notorious zulm or oppression that was done toward the Ahlul Bayt was, we can say, depriving them of their Masnad al-Hidayah. I mean, their stance of the guiding the people, leading the people. It was not martyring them or assassinating them or killing them. No, it was keeping them away from this position of leading the society. And this was really, I think, an oppression toward their right.
And you know why this oppression was more higher than imprisoning them, beheading them.
Yes.
Because by beheading them, only you beheaded a person.
Yes.
But by pushing them from their own position, actually you suffered all humanity.
You're depriving all the humanity from this source of benefit.
Yes.
That's right. Thank you much, Sheikh, for your faithful discussion. It was very kind of you. And thank you very much, dear viewers, for watching Friends of God in His Presence. We'll take a break. I'm back in a minute.
ومختلف الملائكة ومهبة الوحي ومعدن الرحمن وخزان العلم ومنتهى الهدى.
Welcome back, dear viewers. You are watching Friends of God in His Presence. I'm Atta, the host of this program. We'll continue our discussion with Sheikh Dr. Jahangiri regarding the concept of Qadatul Umam in Ziyarat al-Jami'a al-Kabira. Okay, Sheikh, we know that we are passing life in Ghaibat al-Kubra, the major occultation. And we know that the Imam, Imam al-Asr, is titled and called as the true leader of all the communities. It is a person who will come and bring justice and establish justice not only for the Shia and Muslim communities, but for all the people around the world. So this shows that the capacity of leadership has been put also in the predecessors of Imam al-Mahdi. I mean, all the infallible Imams up to Imam al-Mahdi, Jalallah, may Allah hasten his reappearance. What's your point on that, and what's your opinion on this point?
Actually, when Imam is on the occultation era, it never means that the leadership of the society
is left out.
Yes, is left out, and there is no relationship between Imam and the society. Imam is leading the society. In his saying, he says that we are observing you, we are watching you, and what you suffer, we are suffering more than you.
Okay.
So it shows that he is watching us, he is with us, but by physical we are not able to reach him.
Yes.
So he is leading the society, but actually logically how he is leading the society.
Yes.
Let's come to the time of the presence of Imam.
Yes.
Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam, he was in the prison.
Yes.
Never it means that Imam was leading the society from the Egypt till to the Naysabur. You see how long distances between these two areas.
Okay.
Imam was leading the society. How? On that time, Imam established the network of the Wikala, appointing successors to lead the society.
That's right.
We had this at the time of the Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam, the author of the Ziara, jamia, Kabira. They established the actually the network of the Wikala among their community.
That's right.
So when Imam is not reached, Imam al-Askari alayhi salam, according to the historians, he was not able to perform Hajj.
Yes.
But
it was under the control and the supervision of the kings. That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
But still, he was leading the community.
Yes.
So we have the hadith that if you want to visit your Imam, join to the Hajj. Imam is there. But Imam al-Askari alayhi salam, he never attended to Hajj.
Okay.
Does it mean that Imam was not leading the community?
Okay.
It means that they were leading the community. Sometimes when it was possible for them by person, they were leading the society, as Imam Ali did, as Imam al-Hasan al-Mujtaba alayhi salam did. In some cases, they were leading the society by distance, by their agents and their successors.
That's right.
At the time of the occultation, still we have the network of the Wikala. But at this time, we use it is the usage of the term.
Yes,
we use the term of wilaya.
Yes.
Wilaya means that the ulamas and the pious scholars, first, they are very learned in Islamic teaching.
Yes.
Second, they purified themselves.
That's right.
The third, they try themselves, we discussed in the previous episode, they try to distribute Islamic teaching among the community as a third mission of themselves. If possible, in the third phase, they try to materialize these teachings in the community.
Okay.
Whenever there was this possibility, they did so. During the history, we had ulama, maybe in a very small area.
Yes.
They tried to materialize and practice Islamic teaching there. But whenever there was not possibility, they didn't do.
And they did not have the power sometimes during the history up until the Islamic Revolution of Iran took place in 1979.
Yes.
And
but
we know
even
that,
before that, brother Atta, you see, at the time of the Safavid, there was a ability they tried.
But still the Safavid kings were not the true representative as it is defined.
Very true. But the ulama benefit of the atmosphere as they, whenever there was, even Allama Hilli, at the time of the Mogolite, they tried to benefit of the time. It shows that leadership at the time of the occultation is under the shoulders of the ulama.
That's right.
And ulama tries. Following the imams. We said that imams also, they tried to establish the leadership, but based on the possibility of the society.
Yes.
And ulama, following the method of the imama, wherever there was possibility, they tried to establish as much as they could.
That's right. Okay. And today, if you follow the news, you know, they refer to, you know, Imam Khamenei as Sayyidna Qa'id, you know, and this Qa'id, you know, over here
refers to the
yes,
Qiyada.
Yes, Qiyada, that's
and
right.
you see how our ulama,
yes,
during the history, you see how our ulama, they not only they were pushing the community, sitting behind, but also they were in front field.
yes,
They practiced justice.
yes,
They, if the community was suffering poverty, they were the first.
that's right.
If the community was suffering from, they actually they sent their children to the battlefield.
Yes.
Ulama was the first.
You know, in the during the imposed Iraqi war on Iran, so many of the ulama sent their child and they were martyred. You know, on the way. These are.
And ulama. Sorry
yes.
for interrupting.
Okay.
And ulama, you know that during this
yes.
imposed war, ulama martyred.
Yes,
in comparison to the
yes.
other actually.
Yes.
Others, the martyrs ulama was more
yes.
higher than the others.
We got Shahid Qazi Tabatabai, Shahid Madani, Shahid, you know,
Mutahari,
Ashafi Asfahani, Mutahari Beheshti,
scholars.
and so many others. You know, they were all listening to their leader on that time. You know, and the point is that.
Sorry,
okay.
I'm interrupting you.
Okay.
And also, Ayatollah Javadi Amoli himself, he's a great scholar,
yes.
but he
participated
in the battlefield.
Yes.
While he was a great scholar, he said that if we are the Qadatul Ulama, we have to be in front of the battlefield.
That's all right. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam was once leaving Mecca toward the Karbala, said that I'm going to do the islah of the ummah of Rasulullah. I mean, to do the correction and reformation of the wrong behavior or the deviations of the ummah of Rasulullah, my grandfather, Prophet Muhammad.
That is the mission of any leader who is seeing the corruption.
Any leader, yes.
Any leader, particularly the divine leader,
yes.
he is in front, watching everything. Any
yes.
corruption, maybe many other couldn't watch that kind of corruption.
Yes.
But Imam was in the front field.
Okay.
He was watching that.
Yes.
What problem is going to the community? That's why he stood up against that kind of corruption.
Yes.
And one of the titles we call Al-Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam, he is the leader of all nations as well.
Yes.
He would be in the front field and he will lead all ummah. He won't be the leader of a certain community.
Imam al-Qa'im, Imam al-Qa'id.
Yes.
Yes.
In his ziyara we call him, you are leading the all societies.
Yes.
It shows that at the time of the arrival of Imam al-Zaman alayhi salam, there won't be any conflict between the ummahs. All would obey and follow the leadership of the Imam al-Mahdi alayhi salam.
Inshallah, we are giving the tawfiq and the chance to witness the we can say the imama of Imam al-Asr on that time, how the world will go on with his imama and leadership, and what is the meaning of true justice. Because nowadays in the 21st century, there are so many movements around the world looking for social justice, political justice, religious justice, humanitarian organizations are many, but I think none of them can actualize the true meaning of justice and divine justice on earth.
Let's say this way, all of them made the people to be disappointed.
Yes.
You
by
see
different names and flags and titles, they are working, but none of them, I think, are the appropriate, we can say, medium in order to actualize and materialize the true concept of adala of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
If the people be aware of the teaching of the Ziyarah, jamia, Kabira, there is a leader, a form of leadership.
Yes.
The Imam is in front.
Yes.
If justice is needed, he is the first.
Okay.
If the poverty, people are suffering the poverty, he is the first.
Yes.
If there is battlefield, he is the first one shedding his blood to serve the community.
Yes.
And also, if we explain just this phrase of the Ziyarah Jamia Kabira, he would be the leader of all nations. There won't be a supremacy برتری. superiority.
Supremacy.
superiority.
Yeah, superiority.
Yes. از اینجا میرم.
If
there would be an atmosphere, a government, there won't be any superiority of any nation upon the others. Okay. You see how the all human being and mankind welcome this kind of governing system.
And truth seekers and justice seekers all across the world, regardless of their color, regardless of their language, regardless of the national minorities that they have, would act and would practice under the flag of the leadership of Imam al-Asr. May Allah hasten his reappearance, inshallah. Thank you very much, Shaykh. Really fruitful discussion. It was very kind of you talking about Qadat al-Umam and how we can benefit from the source of the leadership, in fact, and the benefit from the leadership of the Aimma, especially Imam al-Asr.
And I have to thank you. And we have to thank and ask Allah the Almighty to prolong the life of Ayatollah Javadi Amoli through this kind of teachings and programs.
Truly.
Actually, these great teachings may enlighten the hearts of the human being.
That's right.
And at the end, all human beings welcome the unique leadership of the Imam.
Inshallah. Thank you very much. It was very kind of you. And thank you very much, dear viewers, for watching Friends of God in His Presence, a commentary on Ziyarat al-Jami'a al-Kabira by Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam, based on a Farsi book, which is a shar or exegesis, or better to say, a kind of commentary on Ziyarat al-Jami'a al-Kabira in Farsi language, written by Ayatollah Javadi Amoli, known and titled as Adab-e Fana-e Muqarraban. We really invite you to read out this book. This is really a fruitful book, well researched and well written by Ayatollah Javadi Amoli. Till another episode and discussing another topic out of the text of Ziyarat al-Jami'a al-Kabira. God bless you all. Fi aman Allah.
وموضع الرسالة ومختلف الملائكة ومهبة الوحي ومعدن الرحمة وخزان العلم ومنتهى الهدى